Confidence is one thing, but some anime characters take it way too far. They strut around acting untouchable, talking down to everyone, and genuinely believing they're on a level nobody can reach. But then reality hits, and it hits hard. These are the moments where cocky characters don't just lose, they get absolutely humbled in ways that shatter their entire worldview. Today, we're counting down the times when arrogant anime characters learned the hardest lessons of their lives, and trust me, watching these egos get destroyed is incredibly satisfying. Kicking off our list is a humbling so cold it became legendary. From Friar and Beyond Journey's End, let's talk about Aura the Guillotine, and how she got played at her own game. Aura is a high ranking demon who's lived for over 500 years, and her arrogance is off the charts. Her entire fighting style relies on one spell, the Scales of Obedience, which weighs magical power between her and her opponent. Whoever has more magic controls the other like a puppet, and Aura has never lost. She's so confident in this ability that she sees every fight as already won before it even starts. When she faces Friarin, the elf mage Aura looks at her suppressed magical aura and literally laughs, thinking this is going to be the easiest victory of her century-long existence, but then the scales activate and they tip in the completely wrong direction. Friarin reveals she's been suppressing her magic for over 1,000 years, specifically to deceive and kill demons like Aura. The look of pure shock and terror on Aura's face when she realizes she's been completely outplayed is absolutely perfect. This demon who spent centuries controlling others with her spell gets controlled by her own ability. The humbling is instant and brutal as Aura is forced by her own magic to cut off her own head. What makes this so satisfying is that Aura's arrogance was her downfall.
魔族が言葉で人を欺くよ。お前は魔力で魔族を欺くんだ。アウラ、自害しろ。ありえない。この私が。
Number 9, we have Reiner Braun from Attack on Titan, getting absolutely demolished by Squad Levi using Thunder Spears, and this humbling is surgical. Reiner has spent years as the armored Titan, believing his hardened skin makes him nearly invincible. He's the warrior who broke through Wall Maria, who infiltrated the walls and got away with it. For years, he's been confident that his armor makes him untouchable, that the Survey cores. Regular blades can't touch him when Auron lures him into Shiganshina during the Battle of Shiganshina District. Reiner still has that cockiness, that belief that his armor will protect him from everything. Hange reveals the Thunder Spear's weapons, specifically designed to kill the armored Titan, and everything Reiner believed about his defense gets shattered. What follows is one of the most coordinated takedowns in Attack on Titan. Hange, Mikasa, Jiang, Connie, and Sasha work together, systematically targeting weak points and using these explosive spears to break through his armor. The Thunder Spears were created specifically to counter Reiner's greatest strength, and they work perfectly. First, they blind him by exploding spears in his eyes, then they break through his armored shell, and finally they detonate multiple spears directly at his nape. The humbling comes from watching Reiner realize the armor he relied on for years. The defense that made him feel superior means nothing against weapons designed to counter his former comrades. The people he betrayed don't hesitate. They plant Thunder Spear after thunder. Spear into his Titan, blowing apart his armor and nearly killing him. Coming in at number 8 is Bakugo Katsuki from My Hero Academia, and is humbling during the hero license exam. This is before Bakugo's major character development, when he's at peak arrogance. Bakugo walks into the provisional license exam absolutely convinced he's going to dominate everyone there. He looks down on the other school's treats, his own classmates, like they're beneath him, and genuinely believes his power makes him superior. But then reality hits hard. While most of Class 1A passes the exam, Bakugo fails. The cocky, explosive hero who thought this would be easy watches his classmates succeed while he doesn't make the cut. What makes this humbling so perfect is that it's not about strength, it's about attitude. The exam isn't just testing combat ability, it's testing whether these students can actually be heroes, and Bakugo's arrogance, his inability to work with others, and his aggressive attitude are what cause him to fail. He has all the power in the world, but it doesn't matter because he lacks what actually makes a hero. The scene where Bakugo realizes he failed while Todoroki passed is devastating for him. His entire worldview of strength being everything gets challenged. challenged. Bakugo has to face the fact that being powerful isn't enough, that his attitude is holding him back.
そのことをオールマイトに聞いた。けど、答えちゃくんなかった。
個性の話と言われた時、もう分かってた。言いつけを守らなかった報いだった。
そういうことだな。クソが戦えや。ここで今。
And before we continue, if you're loving these karmic justice moments, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We drop videos like this every week covering the best anime moments, breakdowns, and all. The satisfying content you crave, one click helps us keep bringing you this content. Now let's get back to the countdown. Sliding into number 6, we have Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins during his fight with Estarossa, and while Escanor wins this fight, the humbling comes from what happens after Escanor in his one form is the definition of pride and power. For 1 minute at high noon, he becomes invincible, the strongest being on the planet. His famous line, "Who decided that?" perfectly encapsulates his absolute confidence during this form. He's used to being untouchable, used to opponents being terrified. But after repeatedly using the one, Escanor's body starts breaking down. The pride and power that defined him begin to fade, and he has to face his own mortality. The humbling comes when Escanor, the sin of pride, has to accept that his power has limits, that his body can't sustain the overwhelming strength he's relied on. What makes this tragic and humbling is watching someone whose entire identity is built on being the strongest slowly lose that strength. Escanor has to face battles knowing he can't access. The one anymore, the cocky lion who declared himself stronger than anyone, has to accept his own limitations. This humbling is less about a single fight and more about the reality that even the mightiest fall.
But don't think that your death will be an easy one.
How ruthless. Have you forgotten where you're standing? If you use that kind of magical power, the people behind you will be charred to a crisp. This heat is insane! If it means that I can avenge Meliodas, then I can take it!
At number 5, we have Gilgamesh from Fate's Day Night getting humbled by Shiro Emiya, and this is peak arrogance meeting its match. Gilgamesh is the king of heroes who genuinely believes he owns everything in existence because he was the first hero. He calls everyone mongrels, refuses to take fights seriously, and loses battles he should win simply because he underestimates his opponents. His arrogance is cosmic level, and it's his greatest weakness when he faces Shiru, an inexperienced mage. Gilgamesh is completely dismissive. This kid isn't worth his time, isn't worth his full power. But then Shiru activates unlimited blade works, and suddenly Gilgamesh's main advantage is gone. His Gate of Babylon contains every weapon, but Shiru can. Project weapons faster than Gilgamesh can pull them out. The look on Gilgamesh's face when a human mongrel is matching him is perfect. What makes this humbling so satisfying is that Gilgamesh loses because of his arrogance. Even when he's clearly struggling, he refuses to take Shiru seriously, refuses to use his full arsenal, because that would mean admitting this opponent is worth his effort. His pride literally costs him the fight. The king of heroes who owns every treasure gets defeated. Coming in at number 4 is Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen getting humbled by Satoru Gojo, and this is the ultimate clash of egos. Sukuna is the king of curses who's been terrorizing humanity for over 1,000 years. He's arrogant, dismissive, and genuinely believes no sorcerer in the modern era could possibly match him when he takes over Yuji's body and encounters Gojo Satoru. Sukuna is cocky, talking down to him like he's another insect to be crushed. He even threatens Gojo, saying he'll kill him first once he regains his full power. But Gojo isn't impressed at all and proceeds to show Sukuna exactly why he's called the strongest sorcerer alive. What follows is a complete demonstration of power. Gojo moves so fast. Sukuna can barely track him. His limitless technique and 6 eyes make him functionally untouchable while his attacks are devastating. Sukuna throws his slashing techniques thinking his status as the king of curses means something, but Gojo just walks through them effortlessly. What makes this humbling so perfect is watching Sukuna, the ancient curse who thought modern sorcerers were weak, realize he's facing someone who operates on his level or possibly above the cocky king who expected fear fear and submission gets treated like a nuisance. Gojo doesn't show fear, doesn't show respect, he just demonstrates the gap between them. The moment when Gojo uses his domain expansion, unlimited void, and completely overwhelms Sukuna is the ultimate. Humbling Sukuna's consciousness gets flooded with infinite information, rendering the king of curses completely helpless. Quick pause. Which humbling so far has been your favorite? Are you Team Squad Levi destroying Reiner's armor, or did Accelerator getting punched by Tuma hit different? Drop your pick in the comments right now. I want to hear which ego death was most satisfying for you. All right, back to the list.
生徒の前なんでね、かっこつけさせてもらうよ。
恐ろしく速い？違うな。まったく、いつの時代でも厄介な。
At number 3, we have Overhaul from My Hero Academia and his complete destruction at the hands of Deku. This villain is the definition of a control freak who thinks his intelligence and quirk make him superior to everyone Overhaul can disassemble and reassemble matter, making him incredibly dangerous in close combat. He's arrogant, cold, and treats everyone, including his own subordinates, as disposable tools. After fusing with his subordinate and becoming this massive monster, Overhaul is convinced he's one that no hero can stop him now, but then Deku activates 100% full cowl using Ares' power and proceeds to ragdoll this villain completely. What follows is one of the most satisfying beatdowns in My Hero Academia. Overhaul, who thought he was in control, gets sent flying through buildings with single punches. Every attack he throws means nothing as Deku spirals through the air, building momentum for a devastating finishing blow. The animation is incredible, showing Overhaul's confidence shatter as he realizes he's not fighting a student, he's fighting overwhelming heroic fury. But the real humbling comes after, when Shigaraki shows up and destroys both of Overhaul's hands. Number 2, we have Dio. Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure getting humbled by Jotaro. Kyujo in this fight is legendary. Dio is pure ego and ambition from his early days to his return after 100 years. His goal has always been to stand above everyone. After gaining the world and learning to stop time, Dio thinks he's achieved godhood. He's immortal, he can stop time, and he genuinely believes he's the ultimate being destined to rule when he faces Jotaro in the final battle. Dio is practically laughing. He stops time, drops a steamroller on Jotaro, and thinks he's won. Then Jotaro moves and stops time, and Dio's entire worldview shatters. The vampire, who thought he was the only one who could move in Frozen time, realizes Jotaro has the same ability. The entire final fight is Dio's confidence crumbling as Jotaro matches him blow for blow. What makes this humbling so perfect is watching someone who spent a century thinking he was superior get destroyed by a teenager who learned his trick. Dio's arrogance blinds him, he underestimates Jotaro until it's too late. The final Ora beatdown, where Jotaro punches Dio into oblivion, is the ultimate humbling. The vampire who wanted to rule the world dies in a sewer, defeated by someone younger, stronger, and less arrogant.
The world! Tokyo, tomare! The world! Tomare, Tokyo! The world!
Here it is, the number 1 most brutal humbling in anime history, Burroughs from One Punch Man getting stopped by Saitama. This being is arrogance incarnated. He's the self-proclaimed dominator of the universe, who conquered entire galaxies and destroyed countless civilizations without breaking a sweat. Burroughs genuinely believed he could find a worthy opponent on Earth, someone who could finally give him the thrill of battle. His ego is cosmic, thinking he's traveled 20 years across space to face Earth's strongest hero on his invasion after unleashing his meteoric burst form. Burroughs thinks he's won. He has incredible speed that lets him kick Saitama to the moon, can regenerate from any damage, and stands above all of humanity. But then the Rebound hits, his ultimate attack, the collapsing star roaring cannon gets completely negated. Watching this arrogant being unleash everything he has only to see Saitama stop it with a serious punch is incredibly satisfying. Every ounce of power he gathered gets cancelled, his ultimate ability vanishes, and he's reduced to what he really is, a delusional fighter who was never even close. But the ultimate humbling comes in his final moments, the prophecy he believed in the fight he traveled galaxies for turns out to be completely one-sided. Saitama wasn't even trying a bored hero in a cheap costume. Defeating a cosmic conqueror is perfect symbolism. Burroughs, who tried to transcend boredom through battle, gets defeated by someone who's actually bored. The being who wanted to find an equal gets shown he was never on that level, while the hero who just wanted a challenge remains unsatisfied.
必殺マジシリーズマジ殴り
And that's the list. The most humbling's an anime where cocky characters learn the lessons of their lives, from Aura getting controlled by her own spell to Father getting dragged back to the gate. These moments prove that arrogance always comes before the fall. Which humbling did you think was the most satisfying? Was it Gilgamesh losing to Shiru? Was it Accelerator getting punched by Tuma? Or maybe Dio realizing Jotaro could move and stop time? Drop your favorite in the comments, because I genuinely want to know which ego death hit different for you. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. We've got more countdowns, deep dives, and all the karmic justice content you love coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.